how the Niners are potentially changing their philosophy. This was your observation. I'll let you set it up.
Yeah, I think it seems like that they're more keen to move off their mistakes than they have in the past, right? So we've seen last year, okay, they drafted Ambry Thomas, right? The guy they like. They drafted him in the third round, the end of the third round. He played, they were able to get by with him later in the year. And to me, like, I thought, okay, they want to start this kid next year. Like that, this is their pick. They're going to start him. And no, they go in free agency. They nab one of the better corners in free agency, and Ambry's on the bench, right? So they moved off him right quick, right?
Yes,
So
they did.
immediately, and then we're seeing this with the running backs, right? They drafted Trey Sermon last year, and that now they went right back and drafted another running back to replace him. Even though we don't agree with this philosophy, but they did it again this year. It looks like he might be the odd man out this year. They might even just cut him. Like,
Yeah.
So it looks like they're changing where in the past they were more reluctant to move off their mistakes, where now they're like, okay, we can move off a mistake. If we identify it quickly, let's move it up.
Absolutely. Trey Sermon and Ambry Thomas are good examples of that. Now they did it in the past. Like they drafted Dante Pettis and it didn't work. And they drafted Deebo Samuel the next year, who was like the exact opposite of Dante Pettis. But they stuck with Dante. They tried to make him a starter. Like now they'll replace you and bury you. And maybe it's because they feel like, well, they're in year 6 of their tenure and they have that kind of cachet where they can sort of pull a Belichick. Maybe they didn't think they could do that back then, but I respect it because part of being a good decision maker is acknowledging that you're not going to be right all the time and just reacting to the evidence you have in front of you and changing your mind.
Yeah.
Changing your mind when you need to. Yeah. Yes.
Right. You're going to make mistakes. Not every pick or move is going to work out. The biggest thing that what they're doing, the biggest move, which is probably counter to what I'm saying, is them holding on to Jimmy Garoppolo, like where they should have just moved on 8 months ago and just,
Yeah,
But
I would think so. And it's so funny. Like every time there's a quarterback almost gets hurt or something, you get all these tweets from people being like, Grant, don't you feel stupid? You said the Niners weren't going to be able to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. Now they're going to get 3 first-round picks or whatever. Like, I might feel stupid at one point, but he's, as far as I know, it's August 13th and Jimmy Garoppolo is still on the 49ers. So let's wait because we've heard so much the last few months about all these teams who are interested. I mean, I must have heard a dozen teams that are legitimately interested in Jimmy Garoppolo, but none of them actually do anything about it. So I don't feel stupid yet. I feel stupid about a lot of things in life. Look at my face. Does this look like someone who doesn't feel stupid about things? I mean, I just have a stupid face. This expression says it all, but not about this. Okay? I know you can get confused because I just have that stupid look all the time. Why does he feel stupid? Well, not that. Mark says 8-minute drives will happen more once the opposing defense has to cover the whole field. Here's my thing. I feel like Flav is trying to make it seem like the Niners offense is going to be way more explosive, and that's a bad thing. Like, hey, they're going to have so many more quick strikes. That's going to really lead to losses. Like, I don't see that.
There's two major factors in the success of teams, success of offenses in the NFL, and the two turnovers and explosive plays.
Yeah, that's it.
You're getting, and it looks like you're going to get upgrades there in both areas with Lance's. Jimmy has one of the higher turnover rates in the league. So literally just by chance, by starting anyone else but Jimmy Garoppolo, you're probably going to get an upgrade there. Then Lance looks like he by all indications he's going to throw the deep ball. He's going to get explosive plays. So by getting less turnovers, more explosive plays, that should be more efficient. That's going to be more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, you're a defensive coach. If I'm guessing if you asked Robert Saleh, who would you rather face, he would say Jimmy every time. Because with Jimmy, he doesn't generate explosive plays. The explosive plays come from not being able to tackle Deebo Samuel.
Right.
So now there's so many different ways the Niners can be explosive. There's the Deebo way. There's also Danny Gray. There's also Trey Lance, his legs. I mean, there's also Ray McLeod. I mean, there's so many ways for the Niners to burn you for big plays now as opposed to the past. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. With your hand, like you have to say it like an Italian too. That's a good thing. You see what I'm saying? You want that. You want that. Thank you, Mark. I'm a quarter Italian. I can do that. I'm allowed to. My mom, half Italian. Her mom, full Italian. That's how it worked. Nicolo Credit says weakest position group. Well, let's go there. Let's go there. How about tight end? How about tight end? You got your all-pro and then a bunch of guys.
And then nobody.
Nobody. I mean, the offensive line, they got Trent Williams too. And they have some guys that they have high picks on the offensive line that we don't know about. The Niners don't even care about that position. They spent a 5th round pick on Kittle, a 6th round pick on Warner, and that's the whole thing. That's the only investment they've had at that position.
You've touted it before. I mean, this is your guy, but I do feel like you're correct about, like, they have Dwelly, but they still use him. It's he was the one that made that high catch from Lance in the flat last night, right?
No problem. No problem. That's just a walk in the park for Ross Dwelly. No problem.
And as I remember, was it like early last year? I think didn't he catch Lance's first touchdown, or didn't?
No. Did he? You know, he did catch. He caught a touchdown pass from Jimmy against Seattle, and I was like, oh my god,
they're going to start using this year, right? And then nothing.
One incomplete pass. I think he got 5 targets last year, caught the first 4, didn't catch the 5th, and it was like off, and that was it. Never got targeted again. So let him go. Let him go to Tampa and catch passes from Tom Brady, because I bet you Tom will see it. What I see. All you got to do is watch him in one-on-ones. I don't know how this dude but he never loses. He's slow, but he wins.
Right.
Big, shifty, strong enough. Anyway.
Maybe I would say, I don't know how you want to group it. Like, if you want to say interior line is still might be the weakest, or just straight up center.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. So hold on with that offensive line. Jacqueline Knox says Trey didn't throw a pick, so that was definitely a plus. True.
Yeah, I think for me, what you need Trey to do is explosive plays. Don't turn the ball over. Like, do those 2 things. Like, do those 2 things, and if he does those, improves those 2 things, I think they'll be a better team.
Let me go back. I keep going back to Russell Wilson. His rookie year, he was 24 years old. He threw 393 passes. He threw 26 touchdown passes, 10 picks. I mean, 3,100 yards. If Trey could have that kind of a season, the Niners will go pretty far. He also rushed for 489 yards and 4 touchdowns.
What was his completion? What was his completion percentage?
64. So if Trey does that this year, I think the Niners are in business. But I don't know what business that is.